Welcome everyone to another Wednesday night. The fundamentals to gain inner peace with your host, Coach Menachem Bernfeld. Welcome, welcome. And it's so nice to see you all here tonight. Taking some time off, some time that you deserve. Just to be, to breathe. And here we are. So last week, we discussed appreciation over expectation. If you can start to focus on appreciating versus always looking at those things that you expect should be different. If you can get to that that shift, if you can understand it, it changes your life, and you can become a happy person. It does take time, but first the idea. And many of you, reached out and asked. At the end of the day, it's very hard, and the question is why it's so hard. Why is it so hard to get to a place where I can appreciate what I have, appreciate the moment, even though it's not perfect? Why is my mind always on the things that are not working out, the things that still have to work out one day? And it's just so hard. So that's the question. So today we're going to try to figure out the reasons, what are the reasons that are holding us back? We're going to try to rediscover the joy in our life. But step number one is to see what's holding us back. Because we all have things to feel grateful for. We all have things that, the half full cup. And that's a fact. We all have it. Many of you might be sitting there thinking it's very nice, but I don't feel it. I don't really have. Looking around, everything in my life is negative. And some people do feel that way. And it takes time. If you feel you can't do it on your own, you really feel stuck, and you've been in that situation for a long time, it might be beneficial to reach out for help. And it's okay to talk to someone, because it does hold you back from living life, from enjoying life, from appreciating the things that you do have where you are, to start being in the moment, seeing the sun shining. And even if it's raining, you're inside the house, there's a roof. Appreciate that. And if you're outside, you're getting wet. Well, the sun is going to come out soon. I understand it's hard, you're all wet. But eventually you can get to a place where, okay, I'm wet anyway, so why sit and fetch about it? Eventually things things change, but a lot of people, they can't see it. They don't see the positives. They can't find those things. So let's talk about it a little bit. Let's spend some time. We're going to do it a little bit slow, because really deep down, there's a lot of core beliefs, that we have to slowly dig up. Okay, so before we start, let's get grounded. Let's come into the room, be in the present moment, take a deep breath, make yourself comfortable. And I hope by now you know what makes you comfortable, whether it's a cup of tea or a blanket or just a deep breath, so you can find a few minutes where you can just let go of everything that's going on, connect to yourself, and find a little bit of comfort. Be aware of what your day looked like, how you got here, how you feel. Turn inwards and to see what your body feels. Become aware of what's going on. Close your eyes and scan, do a body scan. Just go from top to bottom and spend just a minute seeing, what do I feel? Tense in my forehead, cheeks, nose, mouth. Take a deep breath and just be aware. Your shoulders, chest, your stomach. Just being aware sometimes helps. But even if it doesn't, step number one is just be aware. We're not changing anything. Just take a deep breath. And you can see you're very tense. You have that feeling in your stomach. It's okay. Become aware of it. And all the way down, your feet, all the way till your toes. Wiggle your toes. Just feel it. And then you can come all the way back up to your head. Just doing a fast body scan. Beautiful. And now let's do a circular breathing 3 or 4 times. So it's in or out. You can choose your mouth or your nose, but stick to one. And try not to stop in the middle. You take a deep breath in and let it all out. And then continue all the way in and let it all the way out 3 or 4 times. So let's get started. Beautiful. You can keep on doing it. It shouldn't be hard. If it's hard, then you might be doing something wrong. Just relax in as much as you can and out as much as you need. And when you feel you need another breath in, just take it in and out. Slowly in, slowly out. Another deep breath all the way in and let it all out. Whatever is going on, let it all out. Beautiful. Okay, so how do you feel? What does that feel like? Numb, tingling, all those feelings, whatever comes up are valid and it's okay and it's beautiful. Just becoming aware of what you feel. If you can do that for 5 minutes, the more you do it, you'll start feeling your body, you'll start feeling the tingling, and it's okay. Don't be scared of it. You'll become present. You'll be in the moment, you'll be connected to your body. So let's start. You can share in the chat, let me know what's easier for you when we made that list. The right side, one side is positive, one side is negative. Write a few things that are positive in your life and a few things that are a challenge, things that are not working out, you're not happy about it, and it's just not working out. So which one is easier for you? Which one is easier to write? So we mentioned a lot of people it's easier to write the positives. Many, it's easier to write the negatives. Negatives, they have a whole list and they live with it all day. Positives, hard to find. And some of you could find both, have the balance, which is amazing. So thank you for sharing. I see some have easier time with the positives, some have easier time with the negatives. And that itself is an awareness. If it's easy for you to write positive, that means it's something holding you back or you're not comfortable with that negative. A lot of people, they don't want to see the negatives because then they start feeling it and they don't want to feel it. Okay, that's an awareness. Some people are living with negative, and the list of negatives is on and on. They can write the whole list. And when I tell them, okay, now some positives, hard to find. Okay, just an awareness. Just an awareness. There's no right and wrong. It's just being aware. Just being aware of it. So tonight we're going to discuss Why is it so hard to appreciate the things that we do have, the half full? Yeah, we all have a cup that's half full and half empty. They're both true, it's a fact. But our mind focuses on the negatives easier than the positives. Again, not for everyone, but for those. Why can't I enjoy myself, enjoy life, enjoy the moment, enjoy the things that are working out? Why don't I feel it? And many logically know. When you talk to them, they say, the truth is, I do have so many things to thank Hashem for. You know, Thinking about it, you're right. I do have a lot of things to be grateful, but I don't feel that way. I just don't feel it. And you don't live there. You're not taking it in. So I want to hear from you. What are some reasons that come up? And again, you can share them in the chat. What are some reasons that you think are holding us back from appreciating the things that we do have, from enjoying, from being able to take it in, to feel it, even if it's small things? We discuss a lot of times being mindful, present in the moment, small things. Perfectionism could be one. You might look back and see things, but they're not 100%. It is good, but not so good. A lot of people have a hard time just appreciating who they are. Looking around, very good. Looking around, your neighbors, at the world, and never being happy because there's always someone who has more. The negatives are much louder. Amazing. Thank you everyone for being honest. And this is what it is: trying to figure out why is it so hard to sit with the positives, take it in, and enjoy it. So these are some ideas. One big one that I think is because when you're in a negative state, if there's something going on in your life that it's not working out, whatever it is, okay, it could be relationship, financial situation, it could be health, whatever it is. If you're in a place where you're scared, you're worried, you don't like the way it feels, then I'm going to come and tell you to find some positives, to feel the positives, to appreciate it. It's not going to work. Your mind is just taken over by what's going on. And I want to validate that. Like we mentioned, I want to listen to it and be aware that you don't want to hear any positives now. Many times people could be in a situation where I don't want to hear positives. Thank you. I don't want to feel positive now. I mean, I would want to, but if you would know what's going on in my life, if you would know the pain I have, if you would know what's really going on, how could I just shift my mindset and be positive and happy? I can't. And you have to listen to that because that's something inside of you that feels that way. Don't push it away. Don't say, but you have to be positive. You have to thank Hashem at the end of the day. Don't push it away. First, you have to learn how to listen. Listen to what comes up and validate. Write it down. Be aware and say, I hear you. We're not running away from it. And like we mentioned, it could be in a different sitting, a different time that you try to focus on some positives. But when you're in that situation, it's very hard to change, and that's okay. Don't be so hard on yourself, and it's very important to listen. And then sometimes it goes down to very deep core feelings. People have, they don't believe they deserve to feel grateful, to feel joyful. They don't deserve it. Some people are scared of ayin hara. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to write it down. Because if I start looking at the good, I don't know what's going to happen next. Again, if you feel that, be aware of it. we're not really discussing what's right and wrong. We're trying to become aware of what's holding us back from sitting in that feeling of feeling content, happy, and grateful for what we have, even if it's not perfect. So just let's be aware. And I've heard it from many that they don't want to focus on the good because it's ayin hara. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, it's an awareness. Some people can't find anything. They just can't find like maybe. I'm not sure. They're not living with it. Looking back, they can't really see anything. Some people have the belief that we're not here on this world to enjoy life. Okay, if that's the belief that you have. Some people, I'll enjoy life when I get there. When I get there, when I achieve that, that's when I'll enjoy it. And that's something to think about when you get where, right? So it's not where you are now. Now I can't feel positive about my situation. When I finish this goal, when I get there, then I'll feel it. Well, it's a good question because there are many things looking back that you had goals and you got there, and now you're on to the next. So you're looking back, you don't see it. So when you're going to get to that new thing, you're going to be in the same place. You're going to look for something new, something more important. Self worth. Some people, especially in today's generation, we connect our self worth with what we achieve. Well, our achievement in life. If I can build big things, if I can be big and do, a lot of tzedakah, and my name should be out there. That's when I will feel worthy. But if I'm just at home doing my own thing, nobody knows about me. I haven't done anything big in my life. So that's an awareness. Hard work. If I would work hard, you look up at a person that works hard. He's productive. He's successful. So that's where our self worth goes. We attach it to our achievements. And then many people would say, well, isn't it a good thing to have a drive? Well, this is what drives me in life to get to that next place, to continue, to even grow. Some people, it could sound like a positive thing. I'm constantly, well, I want to grow. I'm keeping on growing every day. I'm busy. I want to grow. I want to grow. I want to be better. I want to be better. And it sounds amazing. However, it might be coming from a very stressful place. It might be coming from a place where you don't have self confidence. Your self worth is shattered, and you're constantly, um, what am I going to do today to feel good about myself? But looking back, if I ask you to stop for a moment and let's look back past 10 years, could you tell me, what are the things that you feel grateful for? What are the things that you achieved, accomplished, things that you look back and you got there? And you might have a hard time finding it. So then that tells me that this is all running away from yourself, running away from being there, running away from feeling that content, grateful feelings. And even when you get to the next goal, you're going to be on to the next. You have to learn how to be with it. If not, what could happen is burnout. After a while, you're like, where's all this going? You feel empty. Because if I tell you to stop for a minute and look back, and I tell you to look in the basket, let's see what's going on over there. It's empty. How long can this last? You have to be able to see your growth. You have to be able to look back and see it, right? So even if it looks positive because you want to grow, if you can't look back and find the positives, you can't look back and find the growth. Yes, it's a ladder, and there's a lot of you're still going higher and higher. But if you can't look back and see, wow, look where I've come from, and it's amazing. If you can't do that, no matter where you're going to go, you're going to be walking around. You're going to be walking empty. You won't feel good about yourself. The people around you will feel it. The energy in the room will feel it, and eventually burnout. How long can you continue feeling empty and trying and trying and trying, but you're not getting anything? So that's another thing that can hold people back just from feeling it. Perfectionism, like we discussed, and perfectionism is a real thing. You know, if people feel constantly it has to be perfect, it doesn't let them breathe, it doesn't let them stop and enjoy the moment, enjoy yesterday, enjoy the past, enjoy where you are now, because it's not 100%. Yes, I did it. It was 85%. Yeah, yeah, it was good, but it didn't work out. Yeah, but it is always that little bit that you're stuck on. Comparing to others is a big one. Comparing to others. Imagine living on a farm. Living on a farm, you have your little house there, a few chickens, a cow. You plant cucumbers in the morning, you milk the cow, bake in some eggs, some cucumbers. You work, you feel good. It's ready. You take it in, you eat it. Ah, feels good, huh? What does it feel like? There's no neighbors. Nobody has more. You know, if you feel that, whatever you're gonna have, there's always someone out there that's bigger, more. You never feel good. And we live in that social life. We're always together with others, and if other people looks like they're happy, what do they have? So if anything comes up while I'm talking, write them down just for the awareness. Hopefully next week we'll get to the how to change that a little bit, but we're not changing it so fast. Just to be aware of what's holding me back of just stopping being in the moment. And another deep one is a lot of people are scared to slow down and feel content, just to feel happy. They're scared if I feel happy, I'm not going to be motivated. I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing. Okay, just be aware of that. Just be aware of it. A lot of people there's a fear. I need the noise. I need my cell phone. I need the news. I need to go out. I need to be part of. I need to, because if not, it's so boring. So boring. Don't tell me to sit for 5 minutes and breathe. It's scary. It can be so boring. So a lot of people have that feeling to feel content, to feel good in the moment, happy, take it in. There's a fear of it's so boring. It's so quiet. Just be aware of that. If you have it, be aware of it. And yeah, it does go down to our core beliefs of really being able to sit with ourselves. Worthless, self-esteem, we don't have any self-esteem. We don't feel good about ourselves. I'm not good enough. Never good enough, no matter what I do. And no matter what I do, you've probably done a lot of things till now. There are a lot of things in your basket. And like I mentioned last time, I speak to people. They do big things. When I hear the stories they tell me about what they did in the past, I'm like amazed. But when they look back in their basket, it's empty. They don't see it. They say, "Yeah, sometimes I think about it, but at the end of the day, that was then, but it's not now. What? I should feel it now. Now I have to look for more." But if you can't feel that, if you can't live with that, if you can appreciate what you accomplished, then you're not gonna feel it, even if you do more, continue, and you can be running. It's all escaping. It's running and running. And I'm not saying you should stop, right? Those who are scared that when they feel content they will stop. It's not really true. Eventually, if you feel content, it's easier to go out of your comfort zone and grow. But if you don't feel content about yourself, then you're really running, and you're only trying to do things because you don't feel good about yourself. It's not going to last. So these are some ideas of why it's so hard for us to be able to relax, take a deep breath, to calm down, to slow down. And like we discussed in our first class, being able to go into that alpha state, just the brain waves to calm down, to be in a calm place. And that's really what's needed to live, to grow, whether it's for you, your spouse, and your kids. It's that energy of, I'm okay. I'm okay. What needs to be done today? Beautiful. Okay. But it's coming from a place from, I'm okay. Not that I'm not enough and I have to accomplish. And I'm running and I'm running. I'm out of breath and I can't slow down. I'm okay. Try to do that. Take a deep breath and say, I'm okay. And become aware of what comes up. Now, before we end, I want you to imagine, you don't have to feel it, but just imagine a newborn baby being held by its mother, content, has whatever it needs. There are no thoughts. It's just in a very relaxed state, safe in the mother's hands. What does that feel like? Now you might not be able to feel it because it's hard for you to feel it, but let's imagine it for a moment. Imagine that feeling of a little baby just being held by a mother. That's it. Nothing to do, no need to accomplish, just pure love. It's good enough the way it is. It doesn't need to change. Try to imagine what it feels like. Even if you can't feel it, but imagine what it feels like. And that's a feeling that we all need eventually with some healing that many need. We need the healing to be able to get back to a place where we feel that deep core sense of, I'm okay. I'm okay. And I'm safe. Yes, there's a lot to do. Yes, there's a lot going on. I understand. But you should be able to spend a few minutes of your day just being with myself. And for that, we do need to start. It's a process, but we need to start. And the first thing is that self acceptance. Start accepting yourself the way you are, where you are now, without changing anything. And you're thinking, but you don't know. I have so many things that need to change. It's okay. And you're not going to stop. We will continue. However, where you are now, there is a piece, there's a little bit that you can slowly connect to, try to relax, take care of yourself, make yourself a hot tea, just accept. You don't have to go to self-love yet, but self-acceptance. Accept the way you are. Try to do it for 30 seconds. The way you are, nothing has to change. And see if you can do it, and see if something comes up for you. For many, there's resistance, it doesn't let, and that's okay. Become aware of that. Okay, beautiful. So that's it for tonight. You can put in your questions in the chat, feedback, if anything came up. We'll try to address it, maybe some questions, and try to do these exercises once a day. It's very nice that you come once a week, and it's amazing. Try to find a minute a day, 2 minutes, just where you can disconnect with everything that's going on in the world, disconnect with all the things, the to-do list, and just connect with yourself for a moment or two. Take a deep breath, make yourself a tea. Again, I'm saying tea because that works for me, but whatever works for you, just sit there, look around, nature, take, fresh air, whatever it is. Your thoughts are going to come up, definitely. That's what we're dealing with, our thoughts. But for a few minutes, let your thoughts, observe your thoughts, let it go. Just a few minutes. You'll get back to your thoughts in 2, 3 minutes. Try to practice that. And eventually we'll be able to get to a place where we can see the good in our life, be able to connect to it, even if there are things that are not working out, even if we have both. We all have both. There's always going to be both. That's how it is. The cup is always half full and half empty. There's no one who has it all the way to the top, because that's perfection. There's no perfection. I'm not perfect. I'm perfectly imperfect, and that's fine. I'm working on myself. I'm learning new things about myself. I have ups and downs. I don't like the downs. That's true. It's part of the game, part of the journey. Thank you very much. Have a good night. The recordings of the past Wednesday nights are available on menachemriffel.com. Any question, feedback, or let me know where you are in your journey, you can send an email to coachmenachem@gmail.com. And take care of yourself. Thank you all for joining. Thank yourself for taking some time off. And I'll see you next week, Menachem, Wednesday nights. Have a good night.